When it comes to trimming your balls, you gotta level up your game.
Okay, so you've probably heard of Manscaped before, but did you know that they lost $315 million last year?
I knew when I heard that stat that I was going to have to look into it a little bit further, and what it revealed about the creator industry blew my mind.
Manscaped's marketing stands out from nearly every other influencer brand. Fun branding, confident approach, they're really different than most other companies. Let's get into the history. Manscaped launched in 2016, led by the CEO, Paul Tran. Paul is a first-generation American originally from Vietnam. Before starting Manscaped, he built and sold multiple businesses. He said that since he was young, he's always had an entrepreneurial spirit. When he launched Manscaped in 2016, he wanted to revolutionize the male grooming space. A big part of Paul's success in building and launching businesses he started came from finding white spaces in various markets. Those are spaces that haven't been filled in already saturated markets, so he'd build businesses in those areas and they would succeed because they were untapped markets. Manscaped was no different. If you compare Gillette, for example, to Manscaped, Gillette is a lot more general, whereas Manscaped focuses in on that one untapped market. With a focus on destigmatizing the male grooming industry, popularizing the term manscaping, and addressing taboos with a head-on approach, the Manscaped brand stood out from competition immediately.
Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience.
As Manscaped built their name over the first 2 years in business, they made use of a lot of celebrity marketing to help grow their name. In 2018, Paul's co-founder, Steve King, took Manscaped onto Shark Tank. At the time, he was seeking $500,000 in funding for a 7% stake in the company, which valued them at over $7 million.
Hi, my name is Steve King, and this is my son, Josh King. Our company is Manscaped, a trimmer powerful enough to cut through any unruly shrubbery with abandon. As you can...
Eventually, they walked away with a handshake deal for that same $500,000 from Mark Cuban and Laurie Grenier, but instead of a 7% stake, they took a split 25% stake. However, Mark Cuban did later state that the deal never actually went through on paper. It was around this time that Manscaped really doubled down on their influencer marketing, appearing all over digital ads and in several YouTubers' videos. As they progressively grew over the next 3 years through this investment into marketing, it was revealed in 2021 that they were in merger discussions with the LA-based publicly listed company, Bright Lights. Fast forward to November 2021, the deal was confirmed, valuing Manscaped at $1 billion. So for a company with such a meteoric rise, a huge cult following, and a presence on social media unlike anything before, how did they manage to lose $315 million just last year? First, it's important to understand their marketing strategy as a company. Paul was quoted in mobile marketing as saying, "Social media is an integral part of our marketing strategy. It allows us to get our message across, reach new customers, build community, and engage with our followers. Through social posts and videos, both produced and spur of the moment, we are able to effectively use humor as a means to destigmatize the conversation around below-the-waist grooming." Social media marketing is the biggest new gold rush for brands, businesses, and products. But as with anything, there's some brands that do it well and others not so much.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. Knowledge.
And there's a few reasons why it did work for Manscaped, but first let's break down the two main focuses on their marketing. Let's start with placements. In traditional movies, brands would pay for product placement in films. Reese's Pieces, for example, paid $1 million for a placement in E.T., and that benefited them with $15 to $20 million in just direct sales immediately after the movie. So now, if you use modern day content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, those placements are going to look a little bit different. Influencers build trust with their audiences, sharing their lives, their opinions, and more. And brands took note of that. Ad placements and integrations for influencers effectively mean that a brand pays an influencer to include them in their video, reading off some of the perks of the product and usually giving a discount code to get the users signed up. This is actually super powerful because it means influencers can pick products they truly resonate with and share it with their audience. And the conversion rate for that is so much higher than traditional TV placement because of the trust that the viewer has in the creator. When your favorite influencer or creator recommends a product, it feels more like a friend recommending it than an actor. Instead of a brand being shoved down your throat in a movie, the trust and friendship that you've built with that favorite creator makes it feel like it's just a friend recommending a product to you. It makes it a lot easier for a brand to get a sale because they're capitalizing on trust that already exists to extend that trust to their brand. Ads. You've definitely seen a Manscaped ad if you're a guy on YouTube. From Instagram to YouTube to TikTok, Manscaped went heavy on their ads on the various social medias. But the big question a lot of you probably have is, why do brands pay for ads if we always skip after 5 seconds? Well, the answer is actually hidden in the ad.
The brand new Lawnmower 4.0.
You're saying the Ultra Smooth package by Manscaped.
Keeping your privates in tip-top shape? Use Manscaped's Lawnmower 4.0.
Manscaped doesn't screw around. They know you'll be skipping the ad, but they make sure you at least hear their name and a couple perks before you do. And it's incredibly effective. Here's why. Any good marketing strategy will recognize that no customer is going to buy from one interaction with your brand. It takes time to build trust, relationships, and interest in your product. And repetition is the key to that. So for example, you may not need a razor now, but you're going to keep hearing their name and it's going to become recognizable. Once you realize you want to get a new razor, you're likely to pick up Manscaped because you've heard it so many times in your head that it's always at the back of your mind. So what they'll do is they'll play ads that just have their name right away with a couple of features. And then they'll change those features. They'll play different ads once you've heard about their brand. Maybe they'll talk about the Lawnmower 4.0 and all of its perks. And then they'll talk about shipping. And then they'll talk about something else. They can play a variety of different ads because they can target you with social media marketing. The possibilities are quite literally endless, but no good marketing strategy ever counts on one singular ad. Think about it this way. Unlike TV ads, when you broadcast the same ad to the whole network regardless of age or any sort of characteristics, social ads allow you to tailor to your viewer. The metrics that exist in social media marketing are truly next level. And that alone justifies how Manscaped has been able to succeed so much in a short period of time. Let's get into their financial reports. Back on April 23rd of this year, a tweet popped up from agent C006 revealing the financial reports from Manscaped for 2020 and 2021. It caused a firestorm of people wondering how a company as large and successful as Manscaped could lose so much money in 2021. All right, first let's look at their gross sales in 2021. $297 million, up 41% from 2020 where they sold $210 million. Pretty good. $105 million in production expenses in 2020. 50% is pretty good for these kinds of products, honestly. In 2021, they spent $153 million in production expenses, which is up 1.6% from 2020 at 51.6% of their revenue. It's worth noting that in 2021, inflation was reaching 40-year highs, there was a ton of supply chain issues, and of course, the Great Resignation, which caused wages to skyrocket. So there's a ton of reasons why their costs would have gone up, and I'm kind of surprised they only went up by 1.6%. Okay, so in 2021, their gross profit before any other expenses was $143 million. So how in the heck could they have lost more money than they sold in products in 2021 if they had that much profit still? Operating expenses. $267 million in marketing and sales, and $185 million in admin expenses. It's also worth noting that the marketing expenses went up by 2.6 times, and the admin expenses went up by nearly 4 times. Admin expenses, I think, can be pretty easily justified, especially with their merger with Bright Lights and their listing on the public records. All right, and advertising accounted for 31.4% of their total expenses, according to the same statement, which means that that massive step they made into influencer marketing came at a huge expense. But why would they do this? Well, influencer marketing has the potential to create a culture around your brand. When I explain this to people, I like to use David Dobrik and SeatGeek. When you hear him talking about SeatGeek, you know he's either about to give away a car or just do a bunch of good things for other people. There's an implied notion in your head as a David Dobrik viewer of what SeatGeek means in the videos. One of the best examples that I heard was that Ian from SeatGeek basically became a character in the vlogs himself. Anytime he popped up, he was facilitating something really good happening in the vlogs. So you learned to trust Ian and you learned to trust SeatGeek because of what they did in David's videos. It feels genuine, and it feels like the influencer really cares about the brand or the product, usually because they do, and that has a massive long-term impact in building trust in the viewer for the brand. The very high upfront investment in influencer marketing has a massive benefit for the brands in the long term. The easiest way to prove that is by asking someone 15 to 29 years old if they've heard of Manscaped. I'm willing to bet they probably have. All right, and with that, among other expenses, Manscaped lost $315 million in 2021. So if you're an influencer or creator, this is actually great news for you. Before the pandemic, influencer marketing just didn't have the dollars behind it that it does today. Manscaped was literally willing to lose almost $1/3 billion this year just to make themselves a household name through influencer marketing, which means that you as a creator have the power. As an influencer, you have an audience, and there's two sides who are looking to make a transaction through you. If you make the right recommendations for your audience, the gravy train is going to continue to flow. You're going to keep making more money. But be mindful that not every product is going to be fitting for your audience, so make the right picks and it'll go so far. I hope you guys enjoyed this analysis. I knew for a fact when I saw their financial breakdown that I had to make a video like this. What I saw in that financial report is massive for the creator industry, and I wanted to make sure to share all of the points that I learned with you guys. And if you enjoyed this video, I make breakdowns about all things in the media and creator world. I'm working towards getting one out every week, but bear with me as I get there. However, if you did enjoy, if you could like the video and subscribe down below, that would mean a whole hell of a lot. Have a great day. Enjoy creating, and peace out.